Well guys, I'm back out here in the shop today. It is much warmer than the other day, and we are working again on these two hand planes that I started with the other day. And as you can tell, I have clearly not even touched these since the last time because they are in the exact same place as the last video was. So today what we need to do is go ahead and get all of these de-rusted. After we get these cleaned up, we're going to go over how to sharpen the skewed rabbit plane. And then we're going to go over on how to sharpen this round iron as well. This one's a little bit more trickier, but it's very much doable and we'll get this done. So this little iron right here is pretty rough. It has a lot of rust on it, a lot of pitting. This might be an iron that I come back to later and remake just by getting some different steel, thinning out the tane area right here, whatever you want to call that, and then the iron tip, and then creating that bevel. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and try to get this one all shaped up to a working state. To start things off, I'm going to be working on the skewed rabbit chisel iron first, and the reason why is because this is much simpler. This is the easiest one to go and do. So I've got this pulled up to the edge, and I'm just going to work it back and forth, trying to get the back side of this flattened out. This one's cleaning up very easy, so that's already clean, nice and flat on this edge. And then we're going to start just doing the rough sharpening on this tip. By doing that, it's just like any other iron. You just find your spot and just drag it back. Now if you can see, now if you see the tip right here, this is okay how it is. It's got a nice clean edge right here, and then it's got a little concave section right here in the middle. That's okay because you won't be sharpening with that. Where you want it to be sharpened is on this tip and on this back side, mainly on that tip. That's where you're looking for it to be nice and flat. I'm going to work it a little bit more and see if I can get rid of that, but if not, that's not a big deal. So I'm going to be taking the iron over here to this red sandpaper. And this is 200 grit, or 240 I believe. I'm just going to work it back and forth. And it's polishing up really nice. Even at 240, you'd still be able to use it if you threw it into a hand plane. Now I'm going to work on the front, or the iron cutting edge. And you can see that it's coming out a lot nicer. It doesn't have as many scratches as it did from the 100 grit. So I'm going to set this iron to the side because it's ready to go onto the higher stones. We're going to pick up the rounding one and we're going to work with this one. Don't know how well this one's going to turn out. It's really rough. Alright, so like before, we're going to start on the back side of it. Try to get what we can flattened out. Now we're working on the front edge. And this one's not very difficult to sharpen either. What you want to do is just kind of rock it back and forth as you're sharpening it. You don't want to take really long strokes or else you'll get a flat spot in it. So I do little short strokes, making sure that I stay, you'll actually have to roll up and over like this as you're going along to keep with the bevel that's on there. The wider rounding irons are a lot easier to sharpen than the smaller ones. So as you can see, it is really scratched up right now, but it is all cleaned up. The backside is as flat as it's gonna get. You can see some pitting right there in the middle, but the tip is flat. So now we're gonna take it over here to the red one as we did before, and we'll go first to the back side of this. Work it back and forth. We're just trying to get it polished up a little bit more, kind of get all those scratches back out. You can see that's not cleaning up really much more, just due to all the pitting. This one probably has been sitting for quite some time. You guys can remember from the last video, this iron was this plane body was very dry. So we'll start off with this set of stones first. This one is an oil stone, and then I got a water stone that I'll be using for it's a lot higher grit. It's by Xmassis. Their stone works really, really good. Got it off of Amazon. So I can see that this is going from a 200 grit, 240 grit to about an 800 grit, I believe. And then I'll go to the 1000 grit and then 3000 grit water stone. So now you can see that the tip of the rounding iron is also nice and shiny. It's been cleaned up now. The back, still just as good as it seems going to get with all the pitting on it. So now we're going to go move on to the water stones. We have the water stone out here now, and I soaked it already. We got it back out here and put it in the little holder. We're just going to work the back side around. With these water stones right here, if you don't kind of play around with it and get the wear all correct, like working it all the way around, you will cause like a divot or a groove in there. So after working it around on the back side, we'll come out to the front side and we'll work it back and forth. Just like before, I'm just going to repeat the same exact process, guys. Sharpening stuff is not hard. Once you learn the basic technique of it, it's very simple, and you can get very good cutting edges on these. This right here is a 3000 grit, and at one time when I was talking to the people from Xmassis, they said they were going to put out a sharpening stone that was 10,000 grits. I have not checked it out or checked out Amazon, see if they have actually done it or not. But if you want something that high, go check them out, go see if they've got it up there yet. So I've already finished up this iron on my piece of leather right here that I made a while back. It's got a dowel right in here, fits into one of my little holes, and I've never put one of these on the leather. So today I'm going to try that out and see how well that goes. And I'm just doing the same thing as before. I can kind of feel the bevel, and I'm just rotating it back and forth, back and forth. So you guys can see it's a lot shinier. It's actually taken a lot of the scratches out that were on there before. And it looks really good now. I've never done it with a round iron before. I've done it with all sorts of flat stuff, but let me know if you guys do it and how it usually works out for you guys. So we've already put a little chamfer on this with that skewed plane, and this is very sharp. It's taking a very deep shaving right now. I could probably lighten it up, but we're just gonna leave it for right now. And I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the rounding iron. So we're just gonna take a couple passes on here to see its performance and how it does. And right now it looks like it's doing a fine job. And this is another easy way to make your coves, I believe this pattern is. So as you can see, it's creating a slight little round over right here. Whoop. Got a little carried away there. So this #1 rounding plane would be used to make a very, very subtle and small little cove right here. This end right here is a lot smaller. This one's a little bit bigger. So I would have to go back with the rabbet plane and create this end a little bit deeper. I flattened out this end a little bit further to begin with. So there you go, guys. There are 2 completed hand planes that I just recently got in the mail. You guys saw the first video. It was how to clean these up and get these back to where they were looking in good shape. This rounding one right here was very, very dried out. This is a #1. I couldn't tell who the maker was on there. There's a little bit of a name on there, but not much. And then this 5/8 inch skewed rabbet plane is made by Sandusky. It's a number 146. These are both very sharp now, ready for use. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little presentation of cleaning up and sharpening out the irons using the strop on the rounding plane. Worked out really well. It cleaned it up very nice. I've never done that before, and I was happy with the outcome of it. If you guys enjoyed the video, smash that thumbs up button and make sure you guys share it around on all the social networks, so Facebook, Twitter, everything like that. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you guys are new and welcome. Thanks for joining. Check out all my other videos, including the last video where I show you guys how to clean these up and get these ready for you. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you on the next video.